Hi everyone, my name is Samantha Rumbidzai Vazhure, author and publisher at Carnelian Heart Publishing Limited. Today I'm joined by Pauline Magosvongwe, this wonderful lady who has just released her memoir called The Crocodile River. So, hi Pauline, lovely of you to join me today.
Hi.
So, I'm going to be asking Pauline a few questions so that we can get to know her better. So, Pauline, who are you? Who is Pauline Magosvongwe?
I am a 76-year-old Zimbabwean woman, born in a family of 7, 5 boys and 2 girls.
That's great, thank you. So you've written this really wonderful book, The Crocodile River. How did the concept of the book come about?
The concept of the book came about when my father passed away in 1996. My father was a wonderful man, so I wanted him to be remembered. That's why I called the book Crocodile River, to highlight his crossing that river when he traveled from Zimbabwe to South Africa on foot.
Wonderful, wonderful, thank you. And so how long did it take you to write the book, and did you experience any challenges during the writing process?
It took me 5 years to write the book. I started writing the book in 2003 by hand. Then in 2004, I went to the US. I got very busy taking care of Elizabeth's kids, an 18-month-old baby and a 4-year-old. So I put the book aside for a while. In 2009, when the kids were older and they had gone to school, I resumed writing my book, still by hand. Then one day, Innocent, Elizabeth's husband at the time, asked me what I was writing. I told him that I was writing a book. He told me that publishers nowadays don't accept manuscripts written by hand. So I had to use a computer. That presented a challenge for me because I didn't know how to use a computer. Later on, I went for computer lessons, and then I got a laptop. Then started copying all the work I had done by hand, then proceeded writing my book. I faced the challenges. Sometimes the computer would be complicated and I got stuck. Then I called in my goddaughter, Tinotenda Mchenji. She would come and help me, and then I would proceed with my work. In 2012, I finished my book. But before I could find a publisher, I came back to Zimbabwe. When I came here, I tried to find a publisher, but I couldn't find any. So I just forgot about the book until my grandson, Valentine Makoni, discovered Carnelian Heart. I am so happy that my book was finally published.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's absolutely what a story. What a story. You could actually maybe write another book about about the process of writing the Crocodile River. It's fascinating. I'm glad you saw it through. I know you mentioned that there were times you were too busy to write, but I'm just wondering whether during the times you were able to write, did you ever experience what they call a writer's block while you're writing the Crocodile River?
Yes, I did experience writer's block to the extent that I wanted to abandon the work completely. The problem was solved in an unexpected way. A friend of mine, Debbie Kaluchi, brought me 2 books by African writers. One was John Bulldau. The book was God grew tired of us. The other one was Immaculate Ilibikaza. The book was Left to Tell. Those two books were so gripping. After I read them, I felt so inspired that I wrote my book non-stop until I finished it.
Wow, wonderful. So it is true what people say then, that to become a better writer, you need to be a reader. So yeah, wonderful. That's great. So do you have any advice for female creatives who might be doubting their craft?
Yes, everyone has got a good given talent. The key is to be determined and work very hard. No one should ever doubt themselves.
That's great. Thank you. What was your intention in writing your memoir? Is it intentionally didactic, or do you write purely to entertain?
By writing about my parents' struggle and my struggles as well, was meant to encourage other people to persevere whenever life is tough. My other reason for writing the book was to appreciate all those people who showed kindness to me during my years of distress. If I could find these people, I would be happy to thank them personally.
Oh, that's great. It is definitely a story about perseverance, and I would encourage anyone to read it. And I think what I really love about the way Pauline created this story is that it's just so full of hope and it's so positive. So even during the times she's describing her struggles, she just wonderfully writes that, and at no point do you almost don't really feel sorry for her, because she just writes it so beautifully and with so much hope in the story. So I think you did a really wonderful job there, Pauline. So yeah. So what are your thoughts on the reading culture in Africa, and what do you think can be done to improve it?
The reading culture in Africa is not so good, and I feel that if we have more African authors, maybe people will be encouraged to read.
Yeah, so basically we need to write more books in order for more Africans to want to read our stories.
Yes.
That's great. Okay. Are you currently reading any books or watching anything interesting?
I just finished John Graham's book, The Street Lawyer. And right now I'm reading your book, The Maya Painting a Mirage. What I love about this book is that it's so full of humor. There's also a lot of culture which relates to me. I'm enjoying every minute of it.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you so much for that feedback. So who are your favorite authors?
My favorite authors are Helen Cooper and Victoria Hislop. Helen Cooper wrote The House on Sugar Beach and Madam President. Victoria Hislop wrote The Island and The Return. Both books are so amazing and they touched me.
Oh, fantastic. So Pauline, outside of writing, do you have any other talents or interests? What do you do in your spare time?
I like reading, I like gardening, and I like traveling. Just before the COVID pandemic, I visited Nyanga with the family, and I also visited South Africa, Cape Town, and we went up Table Mountain, Port Elizabeth. I enjoyed every minute of it.
Oh, fantastic. I love traveling as well. So yeah, and I have been up the Table Mountain. We hiked up the Table Mountain with my family back in 2018, and that was a wonderful experience. So yeah. Okay. What is your biggest dream, Pauline?
My biggest dream is for my book to do well. After all the struggles I had with this book, it will be a dream come true if as many people as possible can read my book.
Oh, fantastic, fantastic. All right, I think you've done really well. Thank you, Pauline. Do you have a final message for anyone who's watching?
Thank you, everybody, for watching, and I hope you read my book, and I hope you love it.
Oh, thank you so much. Well, that's it. Thank you so much for coming, Pauline. Thank you for speaking with me. And thank you to everyone who's watching. This was really amazing. It's been an amazing process working with Pauline, from the editing of her work to producing the book. And here we have it, the Crocodile River. Thank you so much.